Hello, British film fans. Well, I hope you're fans of British films because you're in the wrong place if you're here. Right. In 1999, there was a list of the 100 best British films uh, put together by the British Film Institute, the BFI, and it involved 1,000 people from film and television selecting their top 100 British films. Um, Now, I'm not going to name all the 100, but we'll go through the top 20. And I don't really think there's any surprises in that top 20. There's the odd film that I thought would be there, but isn't. Gandhi's not there, for instance, the 1982 film. And, there's other films that I thought, I might slip them in, like um, The Angry Silence. But anyway, I'm going to be looking down at my notes quite a bit, so do forgive me. We'll go in reversed order from 20 to 1, because that's always more exciting if you don't know the list already. Right, number 20, A Matter of Life and Death, fantastic film. Sort of spiritual film, and it just came after the war, and it sort of resonated. I won't go into detail too much about that because, well, I'm not gonna. I've got to tread carefully because you might not have seen some of these films. 19 Shouts of Fire from 1981, of course, a very famous film based on two British athletes, Harold Abrahams and Eric Liddell, who competed in the 1924 Paris Olympics. Produced by David Putnam, directed by Hugh Hudson and written by Colin Welland. And of course, there was the fantastic music by Vangelis. That won an Oscar, as did the next film at number 18, Henry V, which that's arguably Laurence Olivier's most famous role. He also directed the film. But again, as with A Matter of Life and Death, it probably really struck a chord as Britain was fighting the Nazis at the time. So, let's do a film about a British hero. And Henry V is one of the great British heroes of all time, of course. Number 17, right, this is the first of, I think, 3 Ealing comedies. Let me just check. Yeah. And the Lavender Hill Mob, that's from 1951. At number 16 is Get Carter, which was made in 1971. Michael Caine plays a gangster bent on revenge, and he travels up to the northeast from London to settle a few scores. The violence in this film was quite graphic, especially for 1971, but it's a good film. And the theme tune is also excellent by Roy Budd. And you can check out Wendy Moonshine on YouTube. He does a very tasteful cover of the theme tune. Right, 15, Brighton Rock. Starred Richard Attenborough as a teenage gangster called Pinky, and it's based on a Graham Greene novel. William Hartnell was also in this film as one of Pinky's assistants, as it were. But yeah, very good film. And well, as with all adaptations, there's a few things that you probably want to see the film before reading the book. Otherwise, you might be thinking, "Oh, this isn't right," or whatever. But yeah, it's a good film. Deserves to be on this list. Number 14, Saturday Night and Sunday Morning. This was when the kitchen sink dramas were coming in, and bit surprised there's not more on this list. 13, The Lady Killers, another Ealing comedy. 12, If, directed by Lindsay Anderson. Now, surprised that that's on this list actually, but quite happy to see it. It was it's a film from 1968, and it stars Malcolm McDowell as this rebellious kid at a school, and well, I won't spoil the ending, but totally unexpected. It's pretty wild, and it sort of tapped in. It's a perfect film for 1968 because we was having sort of well, there were sort of threats of revolution in various places, even in Paris. You had the big anti-Vietnam War protest in Trafalgar Square, which descended into violence. So that was very much a film of its time. Number 11, The Bridge on the River Kwai, lovely film about British prisoners of war, and in the Far East. Alec Guinness, fantastic in that film. Trainspotting at number 10, directed by Danny Boyle, probably the most famous British film of the last 30 years, maybe. Number 9, The Red Shoes, which is about, well, it's about a dancer, so you wouldn't really expect that to be there, but if you see the film, you'll understand why it's in the top 10. Directed by Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, and well, they were a great duo. Don't Look Now, 1973. That was that had some quite controversial sex scenes in it, if I recall, but I wouldn't have seen it at the time because I was only 13. Kes, number 7, 1969, directed by Ken Loach. Who can forget dear old Brian Glover as Bobby Charlton in that film? It's a lovely film about a boy who loves his kestrel, and it's a very endearing film. Number 6, Kind Hearts and Coronets, another Ealing comedy. And yeah, so you got The Lady Killers, Kind Hearts and Coronets, and The Lavender Hill Mob, all Ealing comedies. The sun has come out just as we've reached the top 5. At number 5, Great Expectations from 1946, which was directed by David Lean and is an adaptation of a classic Charles Dickens novel. Bit surprised there's not more Dickens adaptations in the top 20, like Oliver, for instance. Number 4, we have The 39 Steps from 1935. It's the only Alfred Hitchcock film in the top 20. Number 3, from 1962, The Stunning, Lawrence of Arabia, also directed by David Lean, and this was the film that made Peter O'Toole a star, of course. Number 2, the intense romantic drama, Brief Encounter from 1945, also directed by David Lean. So, number 1, I'll give you a few seconds to work out what it is. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That's right, Bill from Plymouth. It's The Third Man from 1949, directed by Carol Reed, starring Orson Welles as Harry Lime, of course. And the music was particularly memorable, wasn't it? Composed and performed by Anton Karas. And yeah, Graham Greene wrote the story. And it's amazing when you think about it that Citizen Kane, which was another film that starred Orson Welles, is often sort of named the greatest film of all time. And here we have the greatest British film of all time, also starring Orson Welles. So Orson was a heavyweight, that's for sure. And I'm not just talking about his weight either. He was a giant of film. Didn't like some of the things he got up to. Yeah, Harry Lime was a sort of a bit of a shady character, and you sort of look at the premise of the film, you think, don't think this sounds very interesting, but it's very atmospheric, and it was very different. And critics do love films that are a bit different. You know, they're not formulaic, and The Third Man definitely fits that bill. I wouldn't argue with it being number one. I enjoyed this film, and I think you will too if you've never watched it. Anyway, before I go, I better show my friend Francesca that I'm wearing her Fox T-shirt. Ta-da-da-da! I hope you've enjoyed this little romp through the top 20, and in the comments, put some British films or a British film that you think should be here that isn't, because I think we'll all think there should be one or two other films that should be there, and that's human nature, isn't it? We never sort of agree with, we never really agree with these lists, do we? Not 100%. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this, and till the next time.